If you're feeling a strong, rhythmic shudder through your brake pedal right after a tire rotation, you are probably wondering if the shop somehow warped your brake rotors. This vibration is most obvious when you brake from highway speeds, like slowing down from 55 to 30 miles per hour, but it goes away completely during gentle stops in town. The answer is almost certainly no. Your rotors did not suddenly fail. That new pulsation is very likely caused by the technician incorrectly tightening your wheel's lug nuts, which is physically bending the brake rotor. Let me explain what is happening. The brake rotor is a heavy disc of cast iron, and the center section that bolts to the car is called the rotor hat. When a wheel is installed correctly, the lug nuts apply perfectly even clamping pressure. This pulls the wheel, the rotor hat, and the vehicle's hub together into one solid, flat assembly that spins perfectly true. The problem begins when a shop uses a powerful pneumatic impact gun to install wheels quickly. To control the force, they often use attachments called torque sticks, but these can be very inaccurate, especially if they are old or used improperly. If the lug nuts are tightened in the wrong sequence, or if they are tightened far beyond the car manufacturer's specification, for example, to 150 foot-pounds instead of the correct 80 foot-pounds, that immense clamping force gets applied unevenly. Think of the rotor hat like the thin metal lid on a glass jar. If you tighten one side down with all your strength before the others, the lid will flex and distort. The exact same thing happens to the cast iron rotor hat. Just one over-tightened lug nut can pull that section of the hat slightly forward, which is enough to warp the entire rotor disc. This causes the rotor's braking surface to wobble slightly as it spins. The technical term for this wobble is lateral runout. At low city speeds, the wobble is too slow for you to feel it. But as your vehicle's speed increases, the frequency of that wobble gets much faster, and that is when the symptom appears as a clear vibration. When you apply the brakes at highway speed, the brake pads are forced to follow this wobbling surface. With every single rotation of the wheel, the high spot on the bent rotor shoves the brake caliper piston back into its cylinder. This action sends a small but powerful pressure wave, a hydraulic pulse, backwards through the brake fluid in the line. That pulse travels all the way to the master cylinder, and then directly to your foot on the brake pedal. The strong, pulsing shudder you feel is the direct result of those brake pads moving rapidly in and out, hundreds of times per minute, as they try to grip the distorted rotor. It is not a sign of a failing part. It is a sign that the rotor is being physically held in a bent shape by incorrect lug nut torque. The good news is, if you catch this early, the fix is usually simple because you just need to correct the cause of the distortion. You should return to the shop that performed the service and explain the symptom. If you have the right tools and want to handle it yourself, you need to follow the correct procedure with great care. To fix this, you must start by getting the wheel safely into the air. Park the car on a flat, level surface. Engage the parking brake and place chocks behind the wheels that will remain on the ground. Use a proper floor jack on your vehicle's designated lift point to raise the corner you are working on. For safety, you must secure the vehicle with a jack stand. Never work on a car that is only supported by a jack. Next, with the wheel completely off the ground, use a lug wrench to loosen all the lug nuts until they are free. This is the most important step in the process. It completely releases the uneven clamping force and allows the brake rotor hat to relax back into its natural flat shape. Before reinstalling the wheel, it is also a good practice to check that the mounting surface on the back of the wheel and the face of the rotor hat are clean and free of any rust or debris, as this can also prevent the wheel from sitting flat. Now you can correctly reseat the wheel. Snug up the lug nuts by hand until they just make contact with the wheel. Then you will begin to tighten them in a crisscross or star pattern. This technique is critical because it pulls the wheel on straight and applies clamping force evenly from the very beginning, preventing the distortion from happening again. Finally, and this is the crucial part, you must use a calibrated torque wrench to tighten each lug nut to the exact specification, listed in your vehicle's owner's manual. Continue using the star pattern, bringing each nut up to the final torque value. It is best practice to go around the wheel 2 or even 3 times, just to be sure every single lug nut is set perfectly, and none were missed. Once you are done, you can remove the jack stand, lower the vehicle, and then repeat this entire process for the other wheels that were serviced. If you ignore this vibration, the problem can become permanent. When the rotor is forced to run in that wobbly state for an extended period, it can develop a condition called disc thickness variation. The high spots on the wobbling rotor surface are clamped harder by the pads and wear down faster than the low spots. This creates permanent thick and thin spots in the rotor metal itself. At that point, simply retorquing the wheels correctly will no longer fix the pulsation, because the physical damage to the rotor surface is already done. The only solutions then are to have the rotors machined on a professional brake lathe to make them smooth again, or to replace them entirely, which turns a simple correction into a much more expensive repair. So the next time you leave a tire shop and feel that new highway speed pulse, do not immediately assume you need a brake job. Your first and most important step should be to check the lug nut torque.